are going to revisit something you have been doing since probably pre-K or kindergarten. After your break, you are going to be doing more with this. So I'm just kind of, bringing stuff up from kindergarten. That way you know what to do. After break, you can get your brains bigger. All right. What we are going to talk about today is keys. What kind of keys do we have? Just kidding, don't raise your hand because it was a joke. All right. This is something called a pictograph. Raise your hand if you've heard of the word pictograph before. You've heard it before?
Yes.
Okay. Let me go ahead and hang it up here. All right, Shield. Okay, so pictograph. What two words do you think make up the word pictograph? What are two words that you think you hear? Brayden. What two words do you think picto and graph come from? Do you hear something that sounds familiar? What does picto sound like? If I said picture. So pictograph, the first part is picture. And the second word is graph. What do you think graph means? What's it used for? Yes, Ashley. To sort stuff, that's one reason. Yes, Kinsey?
To see who likes more and who likes less.
That is more and who likes less. And yes, you can do that with this pictograph. Okay? So your graph will give you something called data. Raise your hand if you've heard the word data before.
It's like information.
It is information. So it is a specific piece of information. If I wanted to find out how many people in here had blue tennis shoes or red tennis shoes, would I put information up here like who lives in Santa Fe or who lives in Pearland? No. Does that make sense at all? No, that doesn't make any sense. So the first thing you need to do when you are looking at pictographs is you need to gather information. We'll see if that stays. The next thing we would do, I am going to be finding information about colors. After I find out about what I want to do, find out about my data. I want to add a title to my page. That would go way at the very, very top, above where you would put your data. Okay? So if I would want to write the word colors. Because that's what I want to find out. I want to find out data about colors. So the next thing we would want to do, turn around please, is add a key. If you've worked with graphing before, raise your hand and tell me if you know what a key is. But yes, Kaylee. Exactly. Remember when we did maps and they had the map key and it had what the key actually stood for? If it had a bed, it had a picture of a bed, right? Well, for the key, you want to make sure that you have a picture of something related to the data you want to find. And you want to make sure you know how much this stands for. Okay, so if I had 3 beds in a room and I wanted to count how many beds I had, I would have a picture of a bed and say that it is worth 1. And 3 pictures would be up here. I have a picture of my color and I want to find out my colors. Next to my key, I would put my crayon. Okay? Pay attention because this part is very important. Now I want to find out how many people like a certain color. Okay, because that part's really important. So what I would do is each crayon is going to equal one color. So if I have 5 crayons up here, how many people like this one color? 5. If I had 3 crayons right here, and each one is worth 1, how many people like this one color? Yep, 3, exactly. So after we do our key, that's almost as important as what you're doing, because we need to make sure that your data is correct. That's why we have data in the first place. You want to add labels. Okay? Labels will go over to either the side or the bottom. There is 2 different ways to make graphs. 2 different ways to make a single graph. Okay? On this particular one, you want to make sure the labels are across from the key. Here's the key. We want to make sure the labels are across from these lines, so that way it's accurate. Okay, we wanted to make sure it's right. Okay? So, now I have to move this pictograph again. So if I want to do colors, and I want to do, let's say, red, and I want to do blue, I would like to do yellow, and let's choose purple. Make sure you have labels. So now you have a key saying this crayon equals 1. If I have 4 crayons on the yellow line, how many people like yellow? Raise your hand in the air if you know the answer. How many people? Exactly 4. If I had 5 on the purple line, raise your hand in the air. How many people like purple? Xander, does that make sense? If I have 5 here, and each crayon means 1 person, and there's 5 crayons, does that equal 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yes? Okay. So those are important also. We need to make sure after we have our key, we have our labels. Okay? After this, it is important that we draw our graph. Because we went through all of this work for a pictograph, now we actually need to draw it. Otherwise, we have all these labels and nothing to do with them, correct? Okay. So the first step we have, what was step number 1? Gather your information. In this case, what am I trying to find? Colors. Okay, we have step number 2. Step number 2, add a title. Is my title over here on the side?
No, it's up at the tippity top.
Up at the top, right. And like I said, you want to make sure that your title matches what you are doing. Am I asking where you live and then putting colors over here?
No.
Do those 2 go together? No. I'm finding colors. And then I have the colors over here on this side. Okay? So step number 3, add a key. That's a 3rd most important step. Step number 4, add choices or labels. And number 5, draw your graph. You have to make it. You can't just leave it blank, right? Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to make our own graphs. You are going to return to your desk in just a moment, and you are going to be given a piece of paper. Now, let me show you one thing. Remember how I told you there's 2 different ways to make this type of graph? This is one way. Let me show you the other way. It's a big difference, isn't there? There may be a little bit of a difference.
You have it the wrong way.
You think I have the wrong way?
Yes, because it's supposed to be flipped the other way because the key is sideways.
That's so crazy, but guess what? There's another way. Remember I said there's two different ways that we are going to make this graph. We are going to put the key on this side. Sometimes you will see graphs with the key on the side. And you'll see it with the names at the bottom. So the label, though, is always going to be on top. Exactly. So what I'm going to do when I send you back to your tables, I already have some pictures cut out. You will find the label for the bag because it's very specific and it's something we've been working on a lot in science and social studies. You'll come up with the label. The next thing that you're going to do is add a key, okay? The next thing you'll do is you will label it. And then the last thing you'll do,
Draw your graph.
yep, draw your graph. Here. So does anybody have any questions right now? Yes, Nathan.
What if, can we ask for help?
You absolutely can ask for help. What we're going to do is we are going to also make it a station so you can rotate through everybody's graph. Now, not everybody has the same graph. You'll either have this graph over here or this graph over here. The data over here goes across Landon and Ricky. If the data goes across this way on this graph, how do you think it goes over here with the labels on the bottom? Does it still go this way? Does it go down? What about over this way? What way do you think that it goes? Raise your hand if you think you know. Tristan? This way? What about up this way? And then you could count upwards if you just start stacking them. How many people liked layers? Okay, so let's just say 6. You would put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So, like I said, we're going to go back to our desk. These are going to stay up, so I'd like you to use your resources. Look up here to follow your steps. Okay? We're going to take about 5 minutes maybe to go ahead and make your graph. This is working together. Okay, this is working with your classmates at your desk. Okay? So go ahead and go back to your desk as quickly as you can. You'll notice that there's lines and pencils. Go ahead and draw your line straight across. That way it looks kind of straight. Sound good? All right. Actually, I'm going to do, yes, this one over here, and this one over here. Whoops, sorry. Go ahead and take those. And this one over here. Good job. Table number 1 is drawing very well.
And start in the lines.
Yes. All you have to do is draw on top of the lines. It's okay. Everybody is going to have a turn to do part of the job. Would you like to do the key? We've got plenty of jobs. Would you like to do the gluing?
I would.
Lizzie, we have writing the key. We have labeling. We have gluing. Which one do you want to do? You want to do the key? All right. Go ahead. Lizzie's going to go ahead and do the key. All right. Do we have all the lines? If you need one more minute, raise one finger in the air. You're up. Oh, you need 1 minute. I think you might be done. All right. So the next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to hand out some bags of animals. We've been studying animals, right? So you are going to make your poster about the animals. Remember, look up here. Use your steps. Okay? If you have questions, definitely raise your hand. That way it's made correctly. That's what's important about graphs. It has to be right. Okay? All right, Caitlin? Got it? All right, good. I'm giving you a full bag of animals, of whatever family that they are part of. Birds, amphibians, reptiles, whatever they are. Listen up. I'm giving you directions right now. You are going to only use one animal. Like in this one, I've got penguins, turkeys, and chickens. I could only pick one chicken. I cannot do a chicken, a turkey, and a penguin. All right? So you're only going to choose one. Can anyone raise their hand and if you think you know why that is important? Nathan, why is it important?
So we can pick one animal family.
Well, you're going to get one animal family. That is correct. Let's see if anyone else can help him out. Yes, Kaylee. Well, sometimes it can be confusing, but really what it's about, remember when I talked about data? If every animal stands for one person, and Kinsey comes over to her poster and she puts down 8 turkeys, is she 8 people or is she only one person? One person. So that is why she can only choose one animal. Okay, Ricky? How many animals do you get to choose? One. Okay? It's not one of each kind. It is just one. Please raise your hand if you have any questions. Okay? All right. Kristen, Ashley, Xander, and Ben, will you please get the glue? Yes, each person takes one out. That's it. We do not need to take out all of the animals. Just take one and put it back. Okay, that's fine. Yes. If everybody at your desk likes pics, everyone takes just one picture out of the bag. Like he can take one bunny and that's it. Because each one is going to represent one person. So take your one picture. Okay. So pretend like Kinsey. Yes, Kinsey, say like you like butterflies the best. Just whatever you like the best in here. Oh, great. If you like chickens, which I know that you do, and Nathan likes penguins, you choose your very favorite one, only one. Put it back in your bag. Once you choose it, put it back in the bag. Now, is it possible for everybody at the table to like pigs? Yes, it is, because you like it. It is whatever your favorite is. Everybody take a look. What was step number 1? Okay, so if you look at your bag, I am borrowing Austin's bag. In his bag, what family is this from? If I have this and fish and fish. They're part of the fish family, right? Because they live in the ocean. If I have a butterfly and spiders, like over at Xander's desk, what family do you have? Insects. If I'm over at Nevaeh and Evans and Ricky's desk, what family do I have? Mammals. And if I'm over here and I have turkeys and penguins, what is this family? Birds. So what do you think our label should be? Talk with your teammates or your classmates and come up with a title. What is step number 3? Look at the front. What is step number 3? If you have completed putting your title at the top, table number 3, you will move on to step number 3, which is add a key. All right? If you're done with adding a key, you will write your labels. Okay? So just like this, it looks like you have yours set up to go across. So where would your labels go? Where would your labels go since you're going across this way? Where would the labels go?
That's not what's up
Over
there.
here. Okay, so you would write chicken, penguin, turkey, okay?
Need help spelling.
And these can go really close together.
But I gotta line out.
Yep, they have to be together. So you guys did a great job.
Where's your chicken one? What's your penguin one?
I'll write fish, you write sun.
All right, so what is our next step? After we've done this part, what do we have to write on the side? Who has not had a chance to write? Brayden? Okay, who has not had a chance to write?
Actually, tell her you're the one writing.
So write the names. You're going to have to come around this way. And you're going to write the names.
Get your
Everybody
pencil
help
in
her.
case you mess up.
Okay. Did you write a key? I need you to write a key. You're not sure. Look at the front. No, Lizzie's not here, so we got to move on. All right, just about 2 more minutes, everybody. Look at the front. Who has not written yet? How about that? Okay,
It
has
should be
Ricky
laying
written?
on your graph already.
Have you written a bear?
Not
Has Evan written?
and I guess you're only writing, right?
Mammals? It should be mammals, not mammals. All right, so what you're going to do, everyone needs to help Ricky. Right?
Put it back.
Bunnies, horses,
Is that a crab?
cows, that's it. Okay? So, Ricky, you're going to, oh, you know what? No. Okay, let's just do it. Okay, so where are you going to write? You're a good writer. I have a
Labels for the other stuff, even though y'all didn't
So
show.
go ahead and write, go ahead and write.
No, just look at what are the other
All right, everybody, we have keys. We have a label. Good. Now on the side, step number 4. What was step number 4? Add your labels. So right in front of Xander
farther because they gotta get
and Kinley, that's where you add your labels, right here. So spider, ladybug,
Just look how far apart they are.
and you can do it in marker. Xander's writing. It's okay. Let him go ahead and write. All right, so you guys go ahead and write it in. Okay, so go ahead and you can write it in marker if you want to. All right, so you have your label. Use a big. Okay, you can use a big. I'm gonna come around over here. All right, I need all eyes in here. Table 1, table 2, table 3, and table 4. All right, the next thing we are going to do is step 5. As soon as you're done with step 4, the labeling, which it looks like most people are almost done labeling. 1 second. You will go ahead and start making your graph. One person gets to glue. Okay, so if you have written, if you have helped with the key, what have you done? Okay, good. He gets to be the glue. So what you're going to do is you're going to glue on top of each other. Okay. So we're going to let Ben and Austin take care of this part. All right. So once you have the label, you are ready to start. All right. Good. All right. Who has not done this? Who hasn't written? All right. So you're going to be in charge. Okay. So you are going to be in charge of glue. You're going to glue down the spider, ladybug, okay, and you're going to glue these together. Or down where they are, okay? All right. So you're going to glue. Okay. Okay, what we're going to do after we're done, I need all eyes up here. Table 1, table 2, 3, and 4. You did a great job. Okay, what we're going to do is you are going to have 1 minute at each other. So table 1, you're going to move to 3. 3 will move to 4. 4 will move to 2. Okay, so you're going to keep on going this way. This is, if I had 2 arms, what do I look like right now? A clock. This is called clockwise, okay? So you are going to go this way. All right?
What are we doing?
Ready? All right, so everybody stand up. Push in your chair. And you are going to go to the next table. You will choose only 1 animal from their bag. Put the animals back in the bag. Okay, the animal you choose, you glue. Okay? Does anyone have any question? Raise your hand. Yes, Nathan? Yes. When you find your animal, you glue it on your paper. Okay? Everybody ready? All right. When you find yours, go ahead and glue it. Okay. When you find the one you want, go ahead and glue it.
Just put a little in the middle and go. This is the one time I'm going to tell you to put it in the middle.
All right. Go ahead and just glue Alright, to the next station. Alright, you'll have about 1 minute here, so quickly choose. You have bunnies, horses, pigs, and cows. You have crabs. Go ahead and look. And you all have chickens, penguins, and turkeys. So go ahead and find one. Come over here and and you all have bunnies, horses, pigs, and cows. All right. You have about 30 seconds. Go ahead and get these. All right. About 30 seconds.
Ready, get ready.
Hurry.
You want to beat? Fish or seahorse. You have chickens. Now, if there's no more chickens and someone wants to take it, let me know. All right, go ahead and choose.
Just put it in the middle and be done. You are making messes.
All right, let me also tell you this. If you run out of an animal that you really like,
Put it together.
raise your hand and let me know. If you run out of an animal that you really like, raise your hand and let me know. Free switch.
Oh my God.
Put the glue back into the glue. All right. I watched you all go around and you did a really good job. I'm very proud of you. Ms. Shaver's helping and we were very proud of how you put your animals on. What we're going to do very quickly is we are going to stand up and you are going to tell the class how many bunnies, how many horses, and how many pigs you have. And if there's anything missing, what's missing? You're going to stand up. Ricky, go ahead and hold up one side. And Nevaeh, you can hold up another side. Come here right to the middle. And each one of you just hold a corner. You can put your arms down so they can see your cute little face. All right. So Tristan and Evan, how many, who had the most mammals?
Bunnies and horses have the same.
The same amount? Oh, cool. Okay. And who had the least?
Pigs.
The pigs had the least?
Duh.
The cows did. So nobody likes cows. We live in Houston. We're at the rodeo livestock show right now, and nobody likes cows. All right, I need pages number 3 and 4.
Okay, like this.
Okay, then we got it.
Each and B is part of the group.
Okay, go ahead and you can lower us some ground so we can see yours. All right, let's see here, Landon. Landon, how many chickens do we have? Can you count those for me, please?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7. Okay, Ashley, how many penguins do we have?
7.
You have 7 also?
That's the guy.
Wow, good job. And Kaylee, go ahead and pull it down. Go ahead, Kaylee, how many turkeys? 3 turkeys? Nobody likes Thanksgiving? Okay, so let's see, Carter, how many spiders do we have? 9 spiders. What if we had 9 spiders in our bed? Ooh, now are they your favorites? No. All right, Caitlin, let's see, how many ladybugs do we have on bed? 3. They're so cute. I used to play with ladybugs. They're so cute. All right, and Carter, how many butterflies? Oh no, these are bees. How many bees do we have? 2 bees? Okay. All right, and lastly, we have butterflies. How many butterflies do we have, Caitlin? 4. They sure are pretty. All right, Case, how many seahorses do we have?
5.
5? Good. Miss Shaver said she likes to eat them for dinner. Seahorse soup. All right, Carter L, how many?
Come on.
Carter L, how many crabs do we
Okay.
have? 4 crabs? Raise your hand if you like crabs.
Me too.
All right, who likes stuffed crabs? Stuffed crabs. Good job. All right, ready? Yes. All right. Austin, how many starfish do we have? You have 6 of them. They sure are cute. They live deep in the ocean. All right. And we have one person who likes fish. Will the one person in this room who likes fish raise their hand? Ricky, you're the one and only. Raise your hand. Good job. Thank you for not leaving the fish alone. All right. So go ahead and set it down. Now, on the count of 3, because everyone's going to be paying attention, I'm going to ask you a question. Everyone needs to pay attention. What type of graph is this? If you're not sure, look at your resource. 1, 2, 3.
Pictograph!
Good job. When you come back from break, you are going to be talking more about pictographs and other graphs. Okay? Yes, this is something you need for 3rd grade. So, this is just the beginning. You guys are going to do great. All right.